It has been a pretty busy October. Google's released the TV streamer, Amazon's released the Firestick HD, wait for it, we'll talk about that device, and there are now rumors that Walmart is releasing a brand new ONN 4K Pro model. And on top of all that, companies are mad that you may still be allowed to legally share your password. I make weekly videos helping people like you save money on streaming services and learning how to optimize their device. If you enjoy this kind of content, hit that subscribe button right down below. First update of this month, we have to talk about the brand new rumored ONN 4K Pro streaming device. Very little is known right now other than this is going to be a 4K device with 2 GB of RAM and probably priced between their super expensive Pro model and their very cheap streaming devices. I guess somewhere in that $30 to $40 range. But the most impressive thing about this device, the benchmark scores. So this leak was provided by 91 Mobiles, and there's a little bit more information that we know right now. First of all, it's going to run Android TV 14, which is pretty exciting. Because I expect that this model is never going to be upgraded to it. Now, this latest model is supposed to be called the ONN 4K Plus, so I messed up the name a little bit. And they're saying here it's going to be an upgrade over the 4K Pro model, but I'm not so certain about that, and we're going to talk about why in a little bit. It's powered by a quad-core ARM chipset clocked at 2.15 gigahertz. And I think this is one of the most interesting points. Its single core score on their benchmark was 1066 and their multi-score was about 2600. And why I say that's so interesting is because when we take a look at the benchmark scores of every device that AFTV News runs, that makes this about as powerful as the Fire TV Stick 4K Max. And right now, whether you like it or love it, the 4K Max is one of the most powerful, affordable devices on the market. That would pretty much only make the Shields and the Fire TV Cubes a better performing device at probably what is going to be twice the price. The ONN streaming devices have always been known as reliable, cheap options. And they already have a device priced at a $50 price point. So anything that is way more expensive is going to be a harder pill to swallow when we compare it to something like the Fire TV Cube. Now, this could very well be a $70 to $80 price point, but I still have my reservations, despite it being more powerful, that it's going to be around $40 to $35. This could be one I take an L on, but we'll come back and we'll address this when it's finally released and the price point is figured out and confirmed. Every year you can expect some sort of Amazon device, and last year we were given the Firestick 4K Max 2, I think is what it officially is. But this year we got the Firestick HD. Now, I have already done a full review of this device telling you why it's so bad. But let me explain really quickly so you don't waste your money on the HD. So this right here, the Firestick HD, it is this, the Firestick Lite. They are the exact same product in literally every single way, except for this one is now $5 more. You might ask yourself, well, there has to be something different with it. Well, there is. This new remote that comes with the Firestick HD is flat on the side. You might ask, there must be something else different. Oh, there is. The remote battery opener, whatever we want to call it, now opens from the middle instead of sliding off the whole remote. Talk about innovation. But realistically, and all jokes aside, it just seems like the Firestick HD is a transition device just sitting in limbo until they eventually come out with a new Firestick that is going to be running Vega, their new Linux-based OS. Now, big new benefit for Amazon Prime subscribers. They are now including a discount on gas, which is pretty awesome. Listen, you can hate on Amazon all you want, but Amazon Prime has probably the most benefits out of any other membership that you can purchase. That includes Costco. I love Costco. I get more out of Amazon Prime. It's just the reality. So this new discount on gas is only available in the US and at the following stations: over 7,000 AMCO, BP, and AM/PM gas stations. Now you will need to link your Amazon Prime account to your Earnify account, which is some sort of rewards program in the States. It's a 10 cents per liter discount. I like this. It's a good extra benefit. As long as it doesn't cost you more in your yearly subscription, this is a pretty good collaboration. Remember when Netflix started to integrate password sharing? It sucked because, let's be honest, we all shared our passwords. I'm not going to sit here and say my mom back home wasn't using my Netflix, because she was. And then she had to go and purchase her own because they started doing all these pop-up screens. You can't use it all the time. But it looks like Brazil, out of all places, will be banning the option for companies to add password restrictions. And I think this is a good move. This is a consumer protection move telling, hey, you can't have that much control over what your clients do with your product. And at the same time, password sharing has never caused companies to go out of business. Has it cost them a little bit of profit? Yes. Can they suck it up a little bit? Yeah, they probably can. That brings us to MPA, Motion Picture Association, that company that goes around trying to shut down every service. They're basically one of those copyright protection companies, and they will do everything to stop people from streaming from other means and to make sure these companies make maximum profit. I understand a lot of my subscribers really care about their privacy. They don't want companies like Google or Amazon or anybody else knowing what they do online, because why should they at the end of the day? Your internet service provider is constantly taking your data, and yes, they can see every little thing you do. One great way I avoid that and I stay protected while I'm online using my PC all day is by getting a VPN. A VPN protects you by encrypting your data and sending it to the VPN servers first, where your request will then be processed to your internet service provider, basically hiding all your data along the way. If this is something you're interested in, I do have a link down below in the description for IPVanish, where you can get over 83% off. This not only protects you, but it's also going to help you unlock even more content on popular streaming services such as Netflix Prime Video. And if you use any other streaming apps, you know you're protected the whole time you're using it. If you get either the yearly or the 2-year plan, you get a 30-day money-back guarantee, so you can cancel it at any point. Well, that's me shilling, guys. They are my sponsors, so I do appreciate it. If you need a VPN and you want to support the channel, purchase it down below. And thank you for everybody that does that. And if you don't, thank you for subscribing either way. I just think this story is wild and a little ironic, because they want to stop piracy, but they just always do the wrong shit to actually do that. So Brazil is considering legislation that would prohibit streaming services from charging additional fees or blocking access for users outside of the registered household. As you guys know, a while back, Netflix started to crack down on password sharing. This was not just in Brazil, this was in North America, Canada, the US, and it basically blocked people outside of your household by using an IP address system based on when you were last logged in. It's not a perfect system, but it does actually work a decent amount where it annoys people and you get your own Netflix. Now, MPA opposes this potential legislation because it would not only impact providers' revenues, which, let's be honest, is the only thing they care about, and their general freedom of contract, meaning that they should be able to lube you up any direction they want and associate whatever punishment they want inside of a contract. But it would also weaken copyright enforcement. Right. Yeah, of course it would. That's such a stupid thing. Now, Brazil's legislation is currently discussing bills, blah, 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 that intend to limit or prohibit measures taken by online subscription services providers to prevent account sharing amongst their users. MPA opposes these restrictions because they would not only impact users, their general freedom of contract, we already read that. Now, this is just so ironic that they mentioned Netflix because of this famous tweet. This is Netflix saying love is addiction, love is sharing a password. Famously back in 2017, 7 years ago, when password sharing was a positive for them because they wanted their product out there as much as possible so it could grow, and continue to take up market share and become a household name. Doesn't suit them any longer, and it suits them to maximize their subscription base. Of course, they are going to put in these restrictions, and to me, that's a problem because we should not be restricted, and there's also no way to prove in a lot of these situations that people are sharing passwords. So in some situations, you'll have people who are traveling for extra long, and maybe now they're locked out of their account, and it just isn't a good solution. So here's a quote I think that really makes a lot of sense. The proposal makes it clear that family members who live on opposite sides of the country should be able to use a single streaming subscription if they please. So imagine your daughter goes off to, let's just say, a boarding school. She's 16 years old, or he's 16 years old, whatever, doesn't matter. And you have Netflix. Well, with password restrictions, they would have to also get their own subscription. And that is just fully ridiculous. You're a family, you pay for it at once. Grandma and grandpa who's in a nursing home who watches it once a month for the one show or movie should not have to pay their own subscription costs. It's just ridiculous. So last little part for today's video is Plex has added a new option to write share and read users' reviews. I think this is a huge net positive. Anytime you add a better review process to things that are going to help you find shows and movies, so people liking reviews, it also helps to take away the possibility of botted reviews and fake reviews and biased reviews, where you can really read through and get a better idea of how good the movie or show or actually is. And this is the same for businesses. So this is a big W for Plex, small addition, but I still like it.